Rebel soldiers find an abandoned Myanmar government position and approach with caution. They're concerned about landmines, weapons designed to kill and maim. He doesn't know it yet, but for this young fighter, it'll be his last patrol. Because today, one landmine does its job. The soldier we saw has lost a foot. He'll never walk easily again. Another is badly wounded. This is an area littered with mines planted by both the military and the rebels. And in the last dozen years, they've killed or maimed some 3,000 men, women and children. People like Tin Tun, a farmer from Myanmar's Karen state. For 2 years he struggled with a replacement formed from a plastic pipe. But now he's being made a prosthetic limb at this clinic just across the border in Thailand.
I went into the forest to chop firewood. Then I got thirsty, so I stopped and went to fetch the water. It was a hot day. I sat under a tree and it exploded.
Tin Tun's wound, though old, was not clean, so first it had to be treated at the clinic's trauma unit. Tin Tun clearly remembers the moments after the explosion. He knows he's fortunate to have survived.
I was with my 3 brothers at the time, so I sent them to the army camp. There were monks and workers there, and also 10 carts for carrying wood. Luckily, one of the carts wasn't in use, so the soldiers let us use it to carry me to the hospital.
The mines are the legacy of 60 years of fighting between the government forces of Myanmar and rebel groups seeking independence. In recent months, a new era's begun, and the guns are now silent. But the unmarked landmines remain, and the dying and the maiming goes on. It's thought that just inside Myanmar, as much as 70% of the 2,000-kilometre-long border with Thailand has been sown with mines. The rebel groups claimed their communities were being repressed by the government, which led to decades of armed conflict. But because Myanmar's borders were closed, exactly what happened is still unknown to the rest of the world. Officially, there's now a ceasefire, but at times it fractures. With little medical care in Myanmar, many landmine victims are brought illegally across the border to Thailand. Life-saving surgery is carried out at the public hospital in the border town of Mai Sot, but with no money to pay for further treatment, the injured are then brought to this free clinic, where help is offered to everyone who can walk or be carried through its doors. It's run by Dr. Cynthia. Her name is known throughout Myanmar, though she's not been there for 20 years. A refugee herself, she walked for 10 days and nights to escape the fighting in 1988, carrying only a bag of basic medical tools on her shoulder. She expected to stay in Thailand for 3 months. She's still here.
Yeah, mostly they got injured while they are working in the farms, or some of them they are working as a soldier. So, but 90% or maybe mostly are people who are working, the civilian population.
Dr. Cynthia has help. Saw More Care runs the workshop at the clinic, which makes prosthetics for those who've lost limbs. He himself is a landmine survivor.
I'm an ex-soldier, right? So when we are fighting with the military junta, so unfortunately, so when you rush to their outpost, so I step on the landmine.
Smuggled into Thailand for treatment, Saw More Care soon recovered physically, but felt less of a man without a leg. For him, the answer was working to help other victims. There's no shortage of patients here. This board shows the workload. 25 cases in a month, almost 1 a day. 80% are the victims of landmines. Myanmar's now moving away from military rule, But the casualties continue, and more than half are civilians. In 2011, 84 people were killed, twice the figure of the year before.
When you lose parts of your body, you see, normally people feel that, so you have to rely on other people or something like that. So whenever they came here, so at the beginning, so they feel like upset, unhappy. But when I talk to them, so I encourage them, right, not to get up. So, and I promise and I give you guarantees, we are going to make a very good one for you, and you can regain your life like before. So that's why, so whenever they come back to prepare their processes, I ask them, how do you feel? Oh, say, no, I have a lot of confidence.
It's hoped soon operations to clear the landmines can begin. Humanitarian organisations say they're ready to do the work, but first they need consent from all sides. For the victims, amputation is only the first step. The process of rehabilitation is long, both psychologically and physically. But Tin Tun knows he's among the fortunate, and after 2 weeks here at the clinic, he'll be able to go home and walk with his family as he did before. For Assignment Asia, I'm Martin Lowe on the Thai-Myanmar border.